On the 17th day of the blessed month of Tuba, in the year 98 of the martyrs, that is, 382 AD, there lived a young man named Domadius. He wasn't just any young man. He was the son of King Valentinian himself. Domadius grew up inside the royal palace, surrounded by power, luxury, and glory. He lived there with his brother Maximus and their sister. But strangely enough, none of that splendor captured their hearts. Monks used to come and go through the imperial palace. Quiet men, faces full of peace. Their words always about God. And slowly, the hearts of the two brothers were drawn to another life. A life of solitude, of monasticism, of loving God without noise or show. One day, the two brothers looked at each other and said, "This world is not for us." They asked their father, the king, for permission, and willingly left the palace behind. They traveled to Nicaea, the place where the 318 fathers had once gathered. There, they met a holy monk named John. They opened their hearts to him, and spoke about the longing burning inside them. He rejoiced greatly, and said to them, "If you truly want the right path, go to Syria, and become disciples of Saint Agabius." And so they went, and the real journey began. In Syria, they lived with Saint Agabius for 6 full years, years of fasting, prayer, and growth in grace and virtue. When the time of Saint Agabius' departure drew near, he called them and gave them one final command. "After I am gone, go to Egypt, and become disciples of Saint Macarius the Great, the father of the wilderness of Scetis." After Saint Agabius' repose, the brothers remained in Syria for a while. But their reputation began to spread. People started saying, "Let us ordain Maximus as patriarch." That's when the two brothers became afraid. Not of responsibility, but of human glory. Quietly, without anyone noticing, they fled, and journeyed to Egypt. They reached Saint Macarius, and begged him to live a life of complete solitude. He pointed to a huge rock, and told them to carve a cave into it. He taught them how to weave palm leaves, gave them a little bread and salt, and handed them the spiritual disciplines of the monastic life. They entered the cave. Years of hardship followed, fasting, prayer, and ascetic struggle. For about 3 years, they left the cave only on Sundays, walking to church in silence and fasting, to partake of the holy mysteries. One day, God revealed the depth of their holiness to Saint Macarius. He went to visit them, and found them praying all night long. A sight never to be forgotten. The prayer of Maximus looked like a rope of fire, rising from his mouth straight up to heaven. As for Domadius, demons surrounded him like swarming flies. But an angel of the Lord stood nearby, driving them away with a sword of fire. And the strangest thing, the demons did not dare come near Maximus at all, because of the perfection of his holiness. After all those years, Saint Maximus fell ill with a severe fever, and reposed peacefully. On the 14th day of Tuba, Domadius, his heart was shattered. Only 3 days later, he too became ill, and departed to join his brother. Saint Macarius buried them both in the same cave, the place where they had lived, struggled, and prayed. And so ended the story of two princes who abandoned the throne, and chose heaven instead. May their prayers be with us all. Amen. Latin Cross Herb.